Hey folks, welcome to another day, another unboxing. This is the Mobile Tech Podcast channel. I've got here the Huawei MateBook 13, just freshly announced at CES. This is my review unit and I thought I'd unbox it live for you on YouTube. So, as you know, this is live, so no edits. So hopefully everything will go smooth as silk. As you can see, it's a big box. It's got some stuff on the side. Really isn't very exciting. This is basically a shipping box. I'm not sure if it'll ship in this box, but it looks very, what's the word? Very, you know, industrial. So here is the specs. Intel Core i7, NVIDIA MX150, 512 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM. So this is the high-end model, which costs $1,299. There's, I think, a $999 model as well that has a Core i5 and 256 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and no accelerated graphics. Now, again, I'm not sure if this is final packaging, since obviously it is a review unit, and it could be a pre-production device as far as I know. But let's open it up, shall we? We love opening ourselves a spanking brand new laptop. So, dun, 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 there it is. There's really not much in terms of beauty here in this packaging. We've got, let me just actually do this on its size. We've got the laptop here, and we've got some kind of little thing here with some accessories, all right? That's all that's in the box, folks. Nothing to see here. I'm going to throw this off over there. Okay, so here is the laptop, and here are the accessories. That was what's in the box. So let's get this started. Let's remove all this, and let's look at what's in here. Again, I'm not sure if this is retail packaging, but as you can see, it's very minimalistic, right? All right, so here we are. I've got the laptop. So let's open her up, shall we? Here we go. You ready for the magic noise? Well, this one was very noisy. So this is the bottom of the laptop. It's got Microsoft Office and the GeForce for the MX150 right there. The hinge. One side, USB Type-C, headphone jack microphone. The front. The other side, USB Type-C. So very basic set of ports here. I think the speakers are down on the bottom, right here and right here. And this is cooling, probably combined with the cool in the back of the hinge. This is what it looks like from the top, right? You've got the Huawei logo. Obviously, it's aren't going to be visible when open. And so let's open it up and see what is inside here. All right, here we go. Boom. And there's a little divider, of course. And here is the keyboard deck and the trackpad. It's a glass trackpad. It actually physically clicks, so it doesn't have haptics like the MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs. But the keyboard feels amazing. I can tell you that right now. And here's the power lock, the power on button with the fingerprint reader embedded. So aesthetically, this looks a lot like the MateBook X Pro, the 15-inch MateBook X Pro from last year that I unboxed and reviewed on my podcast, mobiletechpodcast.com. But it's smaller, it's slighter, it's slimmer, still packs quite a punch with a Core i7 and NVIDIA MX150. So that's pretty exciting. USB Type-C charger, it's a little bulky. Can't see the wattage on this, so I don't know, it's probably 65 or 80 watt. USB Type-C to Type-C connector, obviously, you'd expect that. It's nice. It's a high-quality cable, definitely feels nice. I have a slightly smaller 65 watt connector that I did unboxing a few years ago, and it's about half the size and still supplies 65 watt of power delivery, USB Type-C, so I'm going to use that one probably as my main charger, or my MacBook Air sorry, MacBook 12-inch. I have a MacBook 12-inch brick, which is a little smaller than this. Oh, look, as long as you have a PD compatible charger, like 65 watt or so, you can charge pretty much any modern thin and light laptop. So that's kind of my approach. I don't generally use the supply chargers because it's just more to unpack and to forget when I have to return the product after using it for a while. So I'm gonna turn it on real quick. I want to show you the display because it's got a very little bezel, and that's one of the things that was unique as well to the MateBook X Pro, the 15-inch last year. It had some of the smallest bezels at the time. And this one seems to be following suit. So here we go. Hopefully it's charged. Let's find out. Ah, there we are. So I'm gonna actually try to put this in camera so that you can kind of see the whole thing. And so here you can see how little bezel there is all the way around this thing. It's a little bit tall at the top for the front-facing camera. On the MateBook X Pro, that camera was embedded in one of the function keys. You pushed it and it popped up, so it gave you that kind of under-the-nose thing that wasn't really that pleasant. So I'm kind of glad they went back to this layout. And of course, it's a slightly smaller and lighter laptop than the MateBook X Pro. So spec-wise, as I said, Core i7, 512 gigs SSD, 8 gigs of RAM on this small NVIDIA MX 150 GeForce. And this is a 13.9, I think, inch display, like around that size, maybe 13.3. But it's a 2K display, it's 1440, and it's 3:2 aspect ratio, which is really great because you can see a lot more vertically that way. It's kind of the perfect thing, and honestly, looking at this laptop, I really think this is designed to compete with a MacBook Air from Apple, like straight up. It undercuts it by $100, which I think is pretty interesting. So again, $12.99 for this unit with the Core i7 and the NVIDIA and a bigger SSD. And for a smaller SSD, you can get it for $9.99 with the Core i5, 256 gigs, and no discrete graphics. So that's it, folks. I mean, I'm going to set it up after I charge it. There's really not much to say here other than this is a gorgeous piece like the MateBook X Pro from last year. Huawei really seems to be on top of their game at making kind of Apple clones in a way. You know, all metal and aluminum. I think the edge here might be plastic on this one, but the bottom here is, the sheet is definitely aluminum. The top lid is definitely aluminum. And I think that this is also aluminum. So this definitely feels like aluminum. So it's, you know, almost unibody, but constructions are really nice. If you can live with Windows 10 and live with a PC, I'm personally a huge Mac person, so I do have a lot of Windows 10 machines and Chromebooks that I test and review and use, and I don't hate Windows 10 or anything, but it's not my first choice. So I think I'm definitely going to use this guy for a while, but I want you to know that I think if you're looking at a Windows laptop right now, this is definitely a contender for the price and the specs and the size and the weight and everything. I don't know the exact weight. I'd have to look that up. In height, it's about centimeter, maybe 1.2 centimeters. It's not very thick. It's really nice that way. So there you have it, folks. The Huawei MateBook 13 just announced at CES 2013 and already in my hands. Thanks Huawei PR for sending that to me so quickly. And again, stay tuned to the podcast to hear. There seems to be some schmutz here. Oh, it's just dirt. To hear my thoughts about this, kind of a mini review will be coming on the podcast. Again, this channel, you should subscribe to it, like the video, all that good stuff. But most importantly, remember, this is a compliment to the Mobile Tech Podcast, mobiletechpodcast.com. And you should subscribe to that podcast and listen to it. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Overcast, TuneIn Radio, a bunch of places. And I want to thank our sponsor, ProXPN. ProXPN is a VPN, and it makes it possible for you to work remotely from anywhere in the world and still have access to geographic areas that matter to you, and of course give you better privacy and security, which is really important. So check out ProXPN. It will be in the description below. There will be a link for you to join and to support the channel and support the podcast. So thanks for considering that, and stay tuned for more videos, live or otherwise. I have a very exciting unboxing coming up of another device that was announced at CES last week, And I'm going to show you that probably tomorrow. All right, so stay tuned for more. Cheers, everybody.